Hey, you want a joke? My avatar is silver. Get it? Cause his name is Speedster, and silver is usually... Yeah, I'll stop now. Alright, let's just get this out of the way. I don't necessarily hate Speedster. He's a pretty good content creator. But like most content creators, when they bomb, they really bomb. Now with that out of the way, I suppose now is a good time to begin. Oh, and I'll be skipping his montage intro. While I don't necessarily hate it, it's really not worth going into since I'm saving that argument for a completely different video in mind.
When it comes to people's passionate opinions on video game characters, most of the opinions can be narrowed down into two basic categories. You love them, or you hate them.
Middle ground? You do realize this is a thing, right? You can neither love nor hate a character. You know this, right?
Well, I think that Spectral Phantom is an okay antagonist.
Good for you. That's your opinion, you can have it. Also, get back in the closet. Wait, we're gonna make out later, right? Yeah, sure, totally. Just get back in the closet for now.
Okay then.
You saw nothing.
Honest, I'm not a very hateful person. I'm pretty positive when it comes to stuff like this, and even when there are things in games or characters in games that apparently everyone despises, I usually don't feel these extreme emotions, or I do only to a very mild degree. In fact, I tried making this a top 10, but I simply couldn't find enough characters that I honestly hate.
Then why make the list? You do know that you don't have to make the list. Well, yeah, you can wait until you have enough characters that you do hate. And even then, you can have top 10 hate character lists where you don't have to hate a majority of the earlier entries. A good example of this being Transformer Fanco 328's top 10 hated characters list. Link to it will be in the description, of course, where he didn't hate all of the entries, just the top 5. So you could have just done something like that. Oh well, I guess. Oh, and I'll be skipping to his number 4 entry since this is where my real problems begin with the list.
Sonic characters. Oh, the multitude of characters we have at our disposal to rip apart. Well, I feel that there are quite a lot of pretty damn good Sonic characters that people do recognize.
And yet, when you're talking about beloved characters, you show Mephiles the Dark, arguably one of the most hated characters in the series. GG.
Yeah, there's a lot of crap surfing through it, and the worst of which is a big purple cat that is completely worthless. Whoo boy. Big the Cat. Big the Cat!
Oh boy. May Arceus have mercy on my soul. Also, this is somehow worse than bestiality.
Even when compared to characters like Charmy and Elise, I still despise you the most, and anyone who knows these characters know that's saying something. Well, being honest, my first exposure to this character was in Sonic Heroes, and I didn't necessarily hate him. He was just easily my least favorite of the power characters. I mean, compared to a huge knuckled echidna, a cool robot that can fire shit from his arms, and a beefy crocodile, who'd pick the fat cat with the umbrella and a fishing rod?
I did it unironically. Sorry, but if I have a chance to make an air horn meme, chances are I will.
It's obvious, but it was only when I played his game of origin, Sonic Adventure, that I really began to hate this bastard. It was kind of amazing. Never before have I actually wanted a character to shut up so much in my life. And seeing how little actual dialogue he has in this game,
How to play as me. Say, Froggy, is that you? Froggy, where's up?
Okay, this is more of something just to blame on Sonic Adventure's voice acting in general, considering the direction was absolutely horrible. I mean, just look at Tails. His voice acting is just as bad as Big's, and it's much more prominent.
I want to know something weird? Guess who Big's voice actor also voiced? Take a wild guess. Duke Nukem. How can a guy who sounds so cool voice a character who's so annoying? What did you do?
clearly it just shows the guy's a good voice actor. I mean, voicing someone as badass as Duke Nukem, then sounding stupid like Big the Cat. Clearly it shows the guy is just a good voice actor, and can change his roles on the fly.
As I said in the previous video, the only reason I haven't beaten Sonic Adventure is because I cannot bring myself to put up with this bastard. The style of gameplay is insufferably dull and trivial and endlessly repetitive. Having to catch the same stupid frog multiple times, just in multiple locations, instead of doing something cool like the rest of the characters in the game. And the worst part of all this is how absolutely incompetent Big is. You know why you have to catch the same frog multiple times in multiple areas? Because the stupid arse keeps losing him!
Yeah, he loses Big all the time, as you show from footage of E102 Gamma taking him by force, not by his own stupidity. Genius! Oh, and about not being able to beat the game because of Big, his story consists of 4 stages and the easiest boss fight in the game. I doubt it's that hard. You know, you actually could have had a point here. You could have brought up how Big's story adds next to nothing here, and you have to beat it in order to get to the final story. But it's just another missed opportunity on your half. Oh, and if you're gonna bring up how he doesn't like the voice acting, then if you're playing the deluxe version, just skip the cutscenes. Not that hard.
You're doing a lot to make me like you, Big. I don't know who in their right mind thought this was a good idea. I mean, the whole purpose of this story is thanks to a fishing accessory for the Dreamcast, and they wanted to get their money back on investing money in this stupid peripheral, so they put a fishing mode in a Sonic game.
Alright, released in 1999 of September. Got it. And the fishing controller was released in 1999 and 2000. Ooh, so close.
Time to talk about a character that I hate that I can guarantee no one else watching this video also hates. Mainly because you wouldn't have heard of him.
You know what, I'll give you a chance. It could be a wide variety of characters. We have Killian Kaido from Love Hour's Experience. We have pretty much any villain from the Mystery Dungeon games. Especially Darkrai, and not the Amighetto. Or dare I say Purple Eyes.
Purple Eyes from Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. Being perfectly honest, every character from here on out is going to be a villain, where hating the character is somewhat justified. But specifically, these are villains I hate for more than just the standard reason. Which is why Purple Eyes is a great example. While he is most definitely in this evil team for himself and cares about literally no one but himself, committing horrible acts for his own benefit, which is typical villain affair, what makes me hate this is because it conflicts with all the other villains in the game. Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, the Societa, and the whole lot of the Pokemon Pinchers, despite all of their villainous tendencies, always had some redeeming qualities about them. Whether it be profound respect for the heroes, an overall sense of honor and principle, or even just actually performing genuinely good deeds with no evil incentive, there was no 100% evil character. Oh, except for this douche.
So basically you hate the character just because they're in a story with more noble villains. Then by that logic, characters like Yuri from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, Gongrel from Fire Emblem Awakening, and Rosera from Cardve Vanguard are hateable just because they're in a story with more likable villains. Granted, they are still hateable in a sense, but just because they're in a story with more justified villains doesn't mean that you can't still have a 100% evil douchebag villain. Want another example? How about the Minister from Akame ga Kill? He's pretty much the reason the entire events of the story kick off, yet he's 100% evil in a story that's pretty much filled to the brim with moral gray. So it's not like you can't have a story with a 100% evil villain with moral gray and can't make it work. No, by the contrary, that just makes it work even further.
Not only is he a despicable character, but one of the Pokemon he specializes in is Metagross. I hate associating my favorite Pokemon with this sack of filth.
This is what passes as an actual point these days. Well then, by that logic, I should hate Lysandre just because he uses Menshao.
After doing so so much stuff for the villainous team in terms of kidnapping, destroying ancient artifacts, and tormenting Pokemon, they finally boot him off the team, just like they did to Blue Eyes earlier in the game. And while Blue Eyes uses this as a chance to redeem herself by helping out the Rangers, Purple Eyes instead sees it as an opportunity to fuck over absolutely everyone else and become supreme ruler of the world. Dick move.
Well, of course. You see, it's called a plot twist. It thinks the story is going one way when it goes another. That is the genius of a plot twist. I'm gonna skip the rest of the segment since I do agree with him here. Oh, and for those of you who want to avoid Xenoblade Chronicles spoilers, skip to this part of the video if you want to avoid it, or just go to a number here. Alright then, let's go full spoilers, baby!
Introducing the bitch and a half, Lorithia. Ooh, all you Xenoblade players out there know exactly what I'm talking about. There is nothing likable at all about this character. Even her revealing JRPG outfit isn't helpful thanks to that Cruella-esque face she has there. When the proper high-end TR are introduced in the game, yeah, they quickly establish themselves as the tight, stuck-up lot of this world, and I assumed Yumea was going to be the worst. But Lorithia manages to effortlessly trump her. Even when compared to the likes of Dixon, the guy who betrays you, mocks you, does so much evil shit, and even has dick in his name, Lorithia is still the worst. Dixon and Lorithia do end up being accomplices for the main villain of the game, and Lorithia does pretty much everything that Dixon does, but somehow manages to seem way more hateable than her partner. Oh, maybe because Dixon has some likable qualities.
Care to explain what any of these qualities are for us non-Xenoblade players? If you're wondering why I'm bringing this up, I'll bring it full circle later.
It was kind of clear even from her first appearances that she was going to backstab the entire cast by the end of the game. Her first actual appearance in retrospect as a silhouette performing experiments to turn her own race into horrific monsters to purge the population of Bionis. She takes extreme pleasure in fucking over her entire species by turning them into mindless creatures known as Telethia to be used as pawns for the purging of the world, and directs all her mocking towards Melia in particular, transforming her brother into one of those Telethia and continuing to torment her time and time again. The main reason us Xenoblade players hate her is not so much story, but
okay, knowing this list so far, if the next word that comes out of your mouth is gameplay, then I am just going to shoot myself.
gameplay.
Oh hey, I'm dead. Not exactly that different from real life, though. Alright, strip down and... oh, it's you. Wait a minute, Jerry, you work in hell? First off, my name isn't Jerry, and second off, we weren't exactly expecting you for a few more years. Wait a minute, a few more years? Why, what happened to me this time? Cancer. Ah. Alright, we'll do our best to send you back, but for now, just keep working on that commentary, okay? But I killed myself to get out of doing that! Do it! Alright, fine, I'll do it.
When you face her in a boss fight at the end of the worst dungeon in the entire game, you are met with the most frustrating and terrible boss fight in the game. It's borderline bullshit. Her physical defense is absurdly high, meaning that attacking with the physical attackers who make up half your party is pretty much fruitless.
So, don't use the physical attackers. Simple. It's not like you won't have a party of 3. You will. There are 3 mana attackers in the game, so you'll be fine.
Usually your Ether uses to even deal reasonable damage. On top of that, she can summon Novas that can keep her defense high, which also have high resistance to melee attacks, and can barrage you with attacks of their own. She can inflict high damaging attacks on you, and even go so far as to exploit flaws in your AI-controlled party's programming, pushing them into the acid surrounding the arena and leaving them to die, as your partners will not leave the acid unless you directly tell them.
Okay, this is the reason why some people don't do hated character lists on video games, because I understand that facing a boss fight is important to judging a character, but when talking about their characters, that is not a smart idea. Especially when all you accuse her for is simply at fault of the AI, not the character. It's not like this is Bravely Default where they try to put you in the idea where this world exists parallel to yours. No, 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 no. This game does none of that. So simply put, this is the boss's fault, not the characters. But what I really want to bring to your attention is this bit of dialogue. implying that you knew non-Xenoblade players were going to watch this segment, yet you didn't explain any of Dixon's likable qualities.